what a way to end this first season. Just, wow.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the final vlog in Season 1 of DreamWorks Dragons Riders of Berk. And this is a two-parter called We Are Family.
It's the first good one, too.
Yes, the first good two-parter.
No, this is how you do a two-part, guys. This is really what you gotta do. Make a good first one.
Yeah, the first episode was great. The pacing was good.
The suspense.
The suspense, the comedy.
The cliffhanger, too.
Yeah, the cliffhanger. It was really good. It wasn't boring at all or setting up for... It was, well, okay. It wasn't a complete waste of time. It actually was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The whole story is about how Bork Week has started on Berk, and Bork Week is about a man named Bork, who is actually Gobber's distant relative, like great grandfather, and he's the one who made the Book of Dragons possible. He studied and observed dragons, and apparently Gobber had kept a chest of all his notes and other like thoughts and feelings about dragons. And so, in a kind of passing the torch scenario, they kind of give all of Bork's notes to Hiccup, since, well, he's the head of the Dragon Academy. And while looking through all the notes, he finds like a secret compartment that tells of an island of night furies. And now I saw this episode when I think I saw it when it aired on Cartoon Network, and at the time, How to Train Your Dragon 2 hadn't come out, so I was actually curious. I mean, I would love to see more Night Furies.
A pack of Night Furies, that would be awesome.
I know. So the kids go. So apparently, the note said that Bork drew a map to the Isle of Night in the cave that he lived in for a while, and again, because the season is wrapping up, it's like making a bunch of callbacks to previous seasons.
Not feeling the trust.
Like, who would want to live in a cave? Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Oh, they're dark and soggy place.
Mm-hmm.
And then, seriously, they had a chance to capture the changeling.
The Changeling. Yeah. I mean,
That's my only complaint.
It was playing with Snodlout. They had an opportunity to capture Changewing, especially in the previous episode when they just expressed interest in capturing it and training it, and they don't do it. I mean, I'm all for being focused on one particular task at hand, but sometimes you can multitask at things.
Yes.
I know there's no such thing as multitasking, but you can
try.
Yeah.
It may work or it may fall flat on his face, but you may never know.
And the episode demonstrated Toothless having a new ability, kind of like sonar.
Like echolocation.
Echolocation, sonar.
What you make.
Basically using the sound waves to bounce off the wall so you can get your precise location, like trying to find a way out of a cave-in.
A falling cave-in.
Mm-hmm. And they're not only battling, it was to find the map that's drawn on the ceiling of one of the caves, all while battling a Changewing and a Thunder Drum. And yes, Thornado is not the only Thunder Drum that sounds like a TIE fighter. Apparently that's a common sound for Thunder Drums.
Mm-hmm. That's not going to get old.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when this episode was Mark Hamill.
Yeah, so Hiccup finds the map to the Isle of Night, and the notes say that Night Furies are very hostile to other dragons, so to protect the other dragons and their riders, he decides to go alone to the island.
Now, was Actually, never mind. I'll let you finish off, so then I can ask it.
Right. Only to find there's something wrong. It turns out it was a trap set up all by the outcasts and planned by Mildew. Yes. Mildew, who's finally showing his true colors. He's had enough. He was like, You meddling kids have ruined my plans for so long.
Yeah, the question is, was he the one who wrote about that dragon?
Probably.
So it's an intuition. No, my thing is, how the hell did he get that in there?
In the chest? I really think he might have really tried to dislodge it open.
But wouldn't it have got Gobbler's attention?
Maybe, but he said he distracted him with the wheel and his cabbages. My cabbages.
Avatar reference.
So might have been very far away. Probably was far away. He probably didn't even. Or, his farm is where he lives, and which is on top of the mountain on the other side of Berk, so...
True.
Yeah.
Though even Gobbler's genre savvy, though it wasn't enough.
I know. Touch that knife and I'll show you how good it is.
But... No, that's one hell of a cliffhanger.
It was the best two-parter ever.
And, of course, was discussing in length about pros and cons of this episode. Comedy aspects, it was over the top.
Yes.
Callbacks of previous episodes, like, I'm not feeling the trust.
Which I think was really what they had on hand. I think that was from the previous recording. Yeah.
And then I love the twins' plan to rescue Snotlout.
Pretty much, we just loved how Snotlout was just really in misery over from the change wing.
And he punches it.
He's like being beaten on the cliff walls.
He's playing catch,
like woo catch, woo catch. And Snotlout gets so annoyed. Yes, he punches the change wing, which leads
the best. Oh no!
Yeah, it was like, oh no. And
then the as I mentioned, the twins' plans was just a way for Astrid to save him.
No, Hiccup.
That too. I'm like, well, I can't argue with logic.
Yep.
That is a plan, if you can call it that. I call that laziness.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked out.
Yeah. And then the second episode, which is part 2, was actually kind of a little bit of an emotional whiplash for this guy, because he actually started feeling sorry for Mildew a bit.
I don't think, seriously, DreamWorks, you're trying to make me feel sad for this old fucker.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Hiccup is captured and now on Outcast Island. And they use Toothless as leverage to get him to help them train their dragons, which they have a Scaldron, a Whispering Death, and a Changewing. Pretty much all the big bad dragons species that were introduced in the episode. No Typhoomerang. I'm kind of glad because I don't really want to hear that word anymore.
It sounds so bad.
No Fireworm Dragons because, Vikings, bigger's better. Or Smothering Smoke Breath, again, like Fireworm Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And... boy, I'm so tired. I've been doing this all day. I just can't... can't believe it. We've gone through...
3 discs?
2 discs. We've gone through all 3 discs. No, not all 3 discs. With the last 2 discs in one day. We went through part 2. That's what I'm trying to say. We went through part 2 of season 1 in a single day. Wow.
But
just wow.
It's addicting.
It is. So
but, no, seriously, when Mildew. Fungus! Who names their sheep Fungus?
Well, Mildew, Fungus, they both rot. So Hiccup manages to escape and takes Mildew with them, and he shows them how to train dragons, which honestly was really a very good part because it was very funny, but you saw the fear in Mildew.
It made me question if he was actually fearful of dragons, or just if he actually hated dragons, or actually was fearful of dragons.
I think he was afraid of dragons. He just hated that that Vikings were living with dragons because that kind of goes against, the old order.
Yeah.
Which was kill or be killed.
Yeah, though, I swear to God, DreamWorks, you're trying to make me eat my own words from previous episodes about character development.
Mm-hmm. While Hiccup and Mildew are escaping, Toothless also fakes his way out of escaping, and just gives the best offhand backhand for a dragon. You just uses his tail to just trip over the outcasts, who are just so afraid.
Oh yeah,
of the unholy offspring of lightning and death itself.
Why not just call him the Black Devil?
Because it's DreamWorks.
True.
I think they want to stay away from religion, even though that was actually the first ever venture into animation.
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Egypt.
Yeah. But no, so he shows Mildew how to trust the dragon.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't do a complete heel face turn. I mean, when it looks like the dragon's all left, he's like, typical dragons. That's what you get for trusting them.
Mm-hmm.
They go out on their own to save Hiccup and Toothless after they were captured again by the outcasts.
But I know you gotta make good time with how to save Hiccup, but seriously, smelling the material of the thing that's portraying a fake Night Fury? Oh, this only grows on Outcast Island.
No, but they said it was rubbed from the ash of a Loki tree, which is actually a pretty clever way to connect the mythology.
Yeah, but I know he's a smith, and I know he works with handle material, but when he says rub from the material, so he knows it's covered, or
yeah, he's a smith. Plus, he could also tell what an hour ago smells like by sniffing the sand. Remember?
Yeah.
I will never understand how you do that. What does an hour ago smell like? Not as strong as half an hour ago.
Seriously, Gobber. But
I think when you work with a lot of materials like leather, metal, and steel, you kind of do.
But isn't that a bit convenient? The only tree grows on Outcast Island.
That happens sometimes.
I know it happens sometimes, but that just seems convenient.
Isn't that equivalent to world building though? You wanted?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying DreamWorks is making me eat my own words. Because this is real life that actually happens. Certain things only grow in certain places, but this is still, I felt conveniently forced. But I know it's not. And I'm like, DreamWorks, fuck you.
So after everyone now gets their dragons back, and then they're about to escape, Mildew falls behind and does the whole heroic sacrifice thing, but it's not really a heroic sacrifice.
Yeah,
it really turned out to be a plan all along between Mildew and Alvin, which, again, I gotta ask, did you see that coming?
Well, I expected Mildew to betray him, but not this way. Twice. And by twice, I mean acting like he was betrayed and all that good stuff. I was expecting the backstab from Alvin, but...
Yeah, we did kind of get that. And, of course, we kept on... we thought of that scene from episode 5. Yes.
Yes.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
See, it's Mark Hamill and it's all these lines.
I sometimes wonder what goes on in the booth with Mark Hamill is when he gets these lines and it was like, oh, really? Can you give me something else? What? Yes, I was in Star Wars.
But no, seriously, no. I thought Hiccup had the right idea to run away from him.
Mm-hmm.
No, leave the old man to rot.
But that's not Hiccup.
That's not Hiccup.
He has a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, no, the episode where we saw about the Heather report.
Yes.
This would have made a much better one.
Yes, it would. It kind of did.
This is actually should have been what the Heather report should have been.
Yeah. You're right, yeah.
No, take out the Heather report and use this.
Yeah, but again, that was probably more of a filler episode.
In fact, this is Heather. This is the mildew report 2.0.
You mean the Heather report 2.0?
Yeah, but
all right. This is our answer to our complaint in the Heather report.
Yes,
which is kind of weird because that's like the second time that's happened. We complained about the terrible twos. We get what flies beneath. We complain about the Heather report. We get We Are Family.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like DreamWorks knows us for some reason.
Either that or they know when they make mistakes. And they've made mistakes.
No doubt.
Again, Shrek 3. Boom! I am going to make that my ultimate punchline.
God. No, I haven't seen anything beyond Shrek 2. I don't plan on seeing anything beyond Shrek 2, but is it really that bad?
It wasn't good as the first two.
Like, I don't know, is Shrek Forever bad?
I don't know. Alright. No, what's actually worse than Shrek the Third is B-Movie. Seriously, B-Movie. I really hope that DreamWorks does not make a TV series out of that. I'm okay with Madagascar and Kung Fu Panda and Dragons. No B-Movie. Absolutely no B. I'll even be happy with a Crude series.
Wait. Are we talking about the B-Movie with Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes. Oh, this has a lot of pomp. Under the circumstance, what kid would get that joke?
Fuck. I forgot about that movie until now. Thank you. It's so horrible.
Sorry. But, yeah, rant over. And so at the end of the episode is that Hiccup...
And actually, there's a valuable message on this.
What? Oh, what is it?
No, Hiccup was obsessed with getting, Toothless his own pack.
Yeah.
And Astrid had the answer. He only needs just you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he says that and at the end he says there's nothing wrong with being one of a kind.
Yes. And honestly, I like that phrase, one of a kind. Because, people can say you're special, but you can say that to anyone. And also you can say to people that you're one of a kind, but that for some reason that feels more of a punch to the heart.
Mm.
To know that you are like that to some certain person or animal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it kind of ends with a really great cliffhanger. It shows Alvin actually gaining the trust of a whispering death. And because it's Mark Hamill, he laughs. Actually, this really was a great way to end the first season. And actually kind of build us up for the second season. I actually can't wait to start watching it. I only watched one episode. Just the first episode. I haven't watched anything else.
So I could catch up finally.
Yes.
Since you've been ahead of me the whole entire time.
Uh-huh.
Shame.
Hey, I only planned on doing this by myself, so I had to rewatch this over and over again. I had to take notes to write down what I was going to say.
Well, this is much better.
This is much better.
We don't have to worry about opinions. We're just stating our own.
Mm-hmm.
Being jackasses that we are.
Yes. So, We Are Family, the best two-parter, although that's not saying much, in the first season. It's kind of good. I like this episode.
Yes, I do too.
All right. Well, that is it for Season 1 of DreamWorks Dragons. We'll see you again in Season 2, Defenders of Berk.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm kind of curious. Like, so do the characters grow? Is it animation change? Do they look like they're growing?
No, not growing, but the animation change. The animation change. They don't do. They do the time skips sometimes. They do the time skip.
So
like that's what third season is.
So we're going into the movie 2.
Yeah, third season is also before the movie, but it's a time skip.
I can't wait.
Right. Yeah, but the animation gets better. It's kind of more up to movie standard quality. Ooh. You know, the eyes are finally expressive.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, we will see you again in Season 2.
Again, adios.